Big Mama, Big Mama. What up, yo? We're back. Right now we're gonna be talking about Sugar Honey Iced Tea by Latto. Latto is a very big artist. Big for many reasons, similar to Megan Thee Stallion. We can say Latto won the genetic lottery, if you will. Genetic lottery. But Latto, 25 years old from Columbus, Ohio, born, I guess, but reps the big A, has been on the scene for a decent amount of time. She has 18 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Biggest song having over a billion streams, but it's a feature. Their own biggest song being Big Energy. That was a pretty decent pop rap song. Sugar Honey Iced Tea. This is her sixth studio album, which, if you ask me, I would not have guessed at all. Her first album called Miss Mulatto from 2016. She got Lotto Let 'Em Know 2017. Mulatto 2018. Queen of the South 2020. Her first probably big album that when I started hearing about her, at least, 777 2022. That one has a lot of pretty decent big songs. And then we've got Sugar Honey Iced Tea, which just dropped in 2024. So we've got 22 songs, an hour and 4 minutes, but it's got two discs. And the second disc just has the Put It on the Floor and Sunday Service songs, which are already out pre-album release, I believe. And they've got the features with Cardi B on Put It on the Floor again, and then Sunday Service with Megan Thee Stallion and Flo Milli. So those songs I'm not really counting, so let's call it 17 songs around 45 minutes instead. But right off the bat, this is a Drake female album. And what I mean by that is if Drake was a girl, this is exactly what it'd sound like. So we got the first song, Georgia Peach. It's good, but it's Virginia Beach. Big Mama, second song of the album, is literally just a shorter beat switch, same thing as Family Matters. Again, it's good, it's just the same exact song, just in her version. The outro track, Shout Out to Me, is hard, but that production, I think she just hit up Drake and said, yo, can I get one of your outros that you didn't want and let me just rap over it. There's a lot of Drake influence, and obviously she was just on that 100 Gigs Drake track. So obviously he's aware of his influence on her, and obviously he is appreciative enough to give her a little throwaway song. Getting into the grades officially, again, this isn't a bad album whatsoever. It's just comedically unoriginal to an extent. But production, I gave it an 8.5. That could be biased because I do think, again, this could have sounded like a Drake album. And I do like Drake, so I think the production on it was relatively good. There are a few songs that just weren't necessarily too good. Like Blixum, the production is okay. Brokey, the production is okay. So there was no really bad moments, but there were a few that just weren't too good. So that's why I gave that 8.5, but overall, an 8.5 is a solid grade. For vocals and lyrics, I think Latto does have a pretty good voice, and it's quite distinct. Every time I hear Latto, I know that it's Latto, but her delivery and her punch is getting quite repetitive to me anyway. Her flow tends to consist of a heavy oomph on the last word of her line every time. So it's and that's like repetitive. So it works a couple times, but not every single song. For lyrics, I did give it a 3. There were a few bars that I thought were pretty solid, and there weren't many bars that I thought were stupid. So I gave it a 3 because there's nothing profound, but there's nothing that made me mad. For cohesion, I gave it a 7.5. I think, again, when you're in the lane that she's in, a lot of it is flexing on other people, other women, which is straight. Get your flex off, talk your shit. That's fine with me. And then a lot of it was just rapping about men. So again, it's straight. But there's no rhyme or reason to the album. It's just a collection of music. Aside from being a bad bitch, a bitch with money, a bitch with haters, and then a bitch with a man that you couldn't get. So a 7.5 for cohesion, because it makes sense. Talk your stuff. But it's not like it's not an album that's like, wow, this is an album type shit, you know? But it's not bad. For originality, biggest drop, I gave it a 6. That's 3 songs off rip that I could find you the Drake equivalent to in 30 seconds or less. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because obviously, again, I'm talking about it, and when if I say an artist's name and I say Drake in the same attention, obviously that brings a whole different light to it, whether good or bad, but all publicity is good publicity, right? So even if somebody says, oh, this is a Drake song, somebody's going to be like, oh, I like Drake. Let me go see if Latto sounds good on it too. And she does sound straight on it. So I gave it a 6, but that's just in a grading sense. But in a world sense, it probably does help her a bit that she doesn't have a 10 in that category. For quality and care, I did give it a 7.5. Latto does seem to be taking music a little bit more seriously than I would expect at this point. She does have a lot of features as well. There's Young Nudie, Huncho, Coco Jones, Meg Thee Stallion, Sierra, Mariah the Scientist, and Tizo. And I even saw that she tweeted, or she put on her Instagram, whatever, that she really took time into trying to make an album track list sound good, and she put in a specific order. She wanted people to not shuffle, and so she cared about that enough. But there's just, again, there could have been a few songs that cut out, like Brokey. She's close to being serious, in my opinion. I think that she could have a really, really impactful album if she really wanted to focus on her skills and her rapping and her voice, and not just make some fun stuff. So I gave her a 7.5 because I think, again, she can get there. I think she has what it takes to get to that next level. But a song like There She Go, it's weak. Like, you just don't need that on the album. You can do better than that. So with the 8.5, 3.5, 3, 7.5, 6, and a 7.5, that brings her to a grand total of a 72. A C minus, not too bad, not too good. You're still passing the class. Your parents might get a little bit mad because you're on the cusp there, but you're still going to graduate and you're still going to pass the class. So it's a fun album. Again, disc 2 has Put on the Floor with Cardi, Sunday Service with Meg and Flo. I think Sunday Service is a fun song. All 3 of them are good rappers in my opinion, and they all work together and they all seem to be friends, so I enjoyed that. Big Mama has the most streams on the regular album with 4 million, but the rest, she's hovering at less than 500,000 for all of the rest of the songs. But it's still good. 71. If you like Latto, obviously go check it out. If you're a girl and you want to support another girl in the rap game, go check it out. I think Latto is a good one to support. If you like music, again, it's good music. This first song, Georgia Peach, if you like that, listen to the rest of the album. Or Shout Out to Me, the last song. It's kind of hard. She's rapping. So go check it out, because it's a fun album. It's not difficult to listen to. But that's Sugar Honey Iced Tea by Latto. And I'll see you guys in the next one.